What's going on, everyone? So the best part of the Los Angeles Lakers landing DeAndre Ayton, outside of they solved their center position, right, is that you no longer have to go trade for a center, right? And ideally, I wouldn't even trade for a backup center, right? Like if I'm the Lakers, just go get Al Horford. I think Al Horford would be huge for DeAndre Ayton as like a guy that could be kind of a mentor, kind of help him stay corralled, right? Like help him get out of his own way a little bit. I think Al Horford could do wonders for DeAndre Ayton, but he's also a really good player, that just savvy vet that can come in, kind of be that adhesive to this team. I don't even think glue. I think he could be the guy that really kind of keeps us all together. Guy that you can trust, has the experience, kind of gives you a different look from a DeAndre Ayton. I think you go solve your center position, which I've talked about this all offseason, right? Before it was, Clint Capella and a Brook Lopez, or a Clint Capella and, Jericho Sims or something like that, or, Luke Cornett or something, right? It was like, can you get those guys and then, make trades for the other needs? Well, it turns out that it might actually be, DeAndre Ayton and Al Horford, which is wow, right? Like, wow. Again, look, I think there is a version of DeAndre Ayton where we are hoisting the Larry O'Brien at the end of the year. I think there is a version where this team is insane and ridiculous, and if he's bought in and he's motivated, and on top of that, you're going to have a motivated, ready to give everyone the bird, Luka Doncic, and LeBron James potential farewell tour, and Austin Reeves on a contract year. You're gonna have essentially 4 of your 5 starters all needing to prove themselves, or to kind of show the rest of the world that, like, hey, I'm still here. That is really good. It's a good spot to be in, right? But there are some concerns, with Ayton. But one of my biggest concerns is just I have concerns about the defensive side of the ball, right? Like, you look at the starting 5 right now. It's like, who's stopping anybody? Yeah, we're probably going to be the best offense in basketball. We're probably going to average 125 points a game. But, like, you got to also make sure you don't give up 126, right? Because you think Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic, you have Rui Hachimura, LeBron James, and DeAndre Ayton. Offensively, that is terrifying. I mean, terrifying. Defensively, not so much, right? Your best defense player is LeBron James. Now, DeAndre Ayton has had good seasons defensively, so can he kind of get back to that, right? He's also had seasons where he's been, like, atrocious defensively, so we'll see how that plays out. But, right, the good thing is, if you solve your center position without having to trade assets, now you look at the Lakers situation and it's like, okay, they still have Dalton Connect, they still have their first, they still have, their 4 pick swaps, they still have their biannual exception, they still have, some cap space. I think it's like $5.3 million under the first apron, right? So they could still go sign, like, 2-3 guys. That's not counting any trades that free up roster spots, and maybe you can clear off a little salary cap to go sign another big guy or two, right? Like, Lakers are in excellent shape as far as being able to round out this roster. Go get a DeAnthony Melton, Al Horford, and can you go get a Malcolm Brogdon or something like that, or go take a flyer on one of these young guys. Talked about Imani Bates, Jabari Walker. I want to get a video on eventually, right? Like, there's guys out there that I think could maybe potentially play a role for the Lakers, right? So that's great, right? You can kind of round up and sew up kind of the little nuances of the roster, right? And put yourself in just a more deeper, better situation for this Lakers team. You kind of got your top 8 to 10 guys, right, that you can move into the regular season, maybe even in the postseason. Like Lakers, if you get a Al Horford along with a Malcolm Brogdon and DeAnthony Melton, I mean, there's your 8 guys right there, and you still have guys like Jared Vanderbilt, so on and so forth. Not minus any trades, but if I'm the Lakers, I am actively looking for trades, particularly to upgrade the wing area, right? You need to upgrade your wing depth. We need legit defenders, 2-way guys. I mean, there's an argument to be made of starting Jared Vanderbilt, just because, again, you have like no defense outside of LeBron James, right? So, and the offense, you're going to be fantastic offensively, right? And everything you were getting from Rui Hachimura, you're going to get from DeAndre Ayton. Like, Ayton's a guy that's capable of giving you 18 a night, right? So, Rui Hachimura averaging his 13 or whatever. Ayton's probably going to average that. So, somebody's going to have to take a step back, right? And so, Ayton's probably the guy that takes over, which I think Rui becomes much more expendable now. I think you look to go flip him, into an Andrew Wiggins, or, can you get one of these other wings, right? You need somebody that, I don't think you need necessarily, obviously if you can, but I don't think you necessarily need somebody that's like elite shooting the basketball. You need somebody that's at least bare minimum serviceable shooting the basketball, but also can defend at a high level, right? Like you need somebody that can be that versatile defensive piece for you. I mean, personally, I would, especially now that you got DeAndre Ayton, I would maybe even more look into trading Austin Reeves, because it's just, again, now you have Ayton that could be that basically give you what Austin Reeves is giving you as far as like point production, but instead of the assists, he's going to give you the rebounds and so on and so forth, and then go get that point of attack guy. Like I would much rather have, like, can you turn Austin Reeves in like a Herb Jones in pieces and then go trade for an Andrew Wiggins and imagine if you had like Luka Doncic, Andrew Wiggins, Herb Jones, LeBron James, and DeAndre Ayton. That's such a balanced starting unit. Like such a, that is good enough to, I mean, you might be the best team in all of basketball. You have two versatile, sizable, lengthy defensive players, plus LeBron James. We've seen him, and he can buy in and lock in defensively when he needs to. DeAndre Ayton, and as like your roll man, shot blocker, hopefully he buys in and can at least just be good defensively. Luka Doncic, hopefully he can kind of, take a little pride in his defense, right? Not get blown by. Like, I just think that's much better balance than what you got right now. But regardless, I think you got to at least get somebody into that starting unit, right? But I will say, I don't think it's something you necessarily have to rush to go do, right? Preach patience, 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 patience. I think, once again, this is something that we need to have patience on, right? We're in a great position now. And again, the Lakers are going to be very good in the regular season. Lakers are probably going to win 55 games. Outside of injuries, knock on wood, Lakers are going to win a bunch of games. They're going to be very good offensively. They're probably going to be the best offensive team in all of basketball, and they're just going to run through people, right? So I'm not really worried about the regular season. I'm worried about come playoff time when you need to start playing defense. You need to start getting stops, and games tied, and it's like you can't stop anybody, and your offense isn't cooking. I don't care how good your offense is. Even the best offenses ever have had 5-minute stretches where they just can't score the basketball. So you need to be able to have your defense, at least keep you afloat long enough till your offense turns back on, and then continue from that way, right? So to me, I look at take your time, be patient, wait for that right move or two. Wait, if it presents, like if if Miami buys in, right, and finally says, okay, fine, we'll do the Gabe Vincent, Rui Hachimura for Andrew Wiggins, then yeah, do that. If you could do that today, do that today. If you don't have to give up the assets to go get him, right, then yeah, do that today, because then you still have your assets to go make another play or another move, right? Kind of see what you need to do. Right? And then, like I said, you always have Austin Reeves who you need to do it. The problem is, I don't know if the Lakers actually trade Austin Reeves, even though I think that there's an argument to be made that's probably something that they should do. It's just me. But no, point is that there's still some clear needs, some clear holes on this roster. I still stand by a serviceable center would have done wonders for this Lakers team. Wonders. Right? Because when you go from a team that has literally no center to a team that now has, I think, a serviceable, okay center that Luka Doncic is going to make look good. Like, any center we got is probably averaging a double digits, just because Luka's going to do that for him. Right? So now that the fact that we didn't just get a serviceable center, but got a guy that, people talk about DeAndre Ayton, how he's lazy and he has no motor and all this stuff. The guy is a 17-10 guy with no motor, no buy-in, lazy, all that stuff. Imagine what he could be if he was bought in. Imagine what he could be if he even had just a little bit of a motor. I mean, this guy, the best, center in all of basketball. Again, the guy's a 17-10 guy that's lazy and has a motor. Imagine if he doesn't. Guy's probably a 30-15 guy, right? So, again, it's just it's going to come down to the infrastructure of this roster, of this team. Really get him focused and bought in, right? But at the end of the day, you can put as much support and help and things into a guy. It's up to him to make that just like, hey, I need to start getting my act together. I need to start buying in here. I need to start doing the things to put us in the position to have success and for me to have success. And, because again, this might be his last chance. He might miss, he wants to make some money going to need to kind of get his act together, right? But if I'm the Lakers, I am aggressive in trying to get ideally 2. Can you get 2? Can you basically turn Gabe Vincent, Rui Hachimura, Maxi Kleba, and I mean maybe even Jared Vanderbilt? Can you turn those like kind of 4 guys into 2 legit 3-and-D wings, right? 2 legit, just athletic, versatile rotation guys, right? Ideally one as a starter, one as a backup, right? It's kind of why it's a bummer that we lost Dorian Finney-Smith, although, you basically turned Dorian Finney-Smith into, a DeAndre Ayton and Jake LaRavia, right? So it worked out for the Lakers. I'd rather have that, honestly, than because it's just bigger needs, right? But anyway, we'll see. As always, this is a discussion. I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you want to like this video, hit that like button. I enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Now, subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.